All right. Well, we keep referring to the wedding of Canaan anyway, in Canaan anyway, and you know, like I told you, you don't invite your mother and your friends to your own wedding either. But whatever. He that has the bride is the bridegroom, though. Unless he's androgynous, and John saw his boobs or something. Whatever. Damn. Either way. Now, something's going on, though, with the woman brought to him in the act of adultery, which, hey, Joseph, when he found out Mary was pregnant, and it was his baby, was minded to put her away privately, because he's the head of the household, right? Not Mary, not me. So, who was to determine her fate? Her husband, right? If she was to be stoned or not, right? Now, I don't know, privately meant he would stone her privately without the whole community knowing or what? Another thing is you're not supposed to stone her without her lover, and she couldn't reveal her lover if she was conceived asexually. And the angel of the Lord became Jesus Christ. You understand? And took on a human form. The divine one from heaven became a man. But that just means he was born of a woman who was of Abraham's offspring. Right. Mm-hmm. Now, he was still in the form of God and thought it not robbery to be equal to God, but yet he was not just a man, no. For his female was not taken out of him, she was still in him, no. That's where you're getting confused, men. You're two from one. See, if something's in me, and you take it out of me, and you make it in its own body individually, that means she was fully a part of you. 50-50. Right? Then she was taken out of you. Right. By bone and flesh. God gave you a sack for your testicles to fall into. As they do as you're growing up and become a man. Hard, huh? Yeah. And then he made her fully female. Mm-hmm. In her own body. Yeah. Yeah, and two came from one image of God. That was God. One is still in the image of God. One is no longer, but in the reproductive form of God. You're still in the form of God, right? But it's the reproductive form. One is the spiritual or supernatural form, right? of a being that made as if an adult, too. Mm-hmm. Right. Which is how Adam perceived it himself. He was made more as an adult than a child, right? Who had to grow up. But at the same time, if him and Eve had children in Eden, which is marked by them becoming one flesh, which means what? The penis entered the vagina, to be specific. Right. Now, what did Satan do, though, to teach them good and evil? He taught them a different kind of sex. But is the sex itself the problem? No. It's how they saw it, too, right? I will teach you good and evil, he says, right? That's what Satan said. I'll give you regular sex and butt sex. Which is the only thing he can introduce that Jesus, wouldn't really introduce. If you want to call the tree of life by a different name, you can call it Jesus, right? Trust me. It is Jesus. And he's also the angel of the Lord there, right? Or the tree of life, right? In the middle of the garden. He could walk up and down, right? That's like this, right? In the middle of the damn garden, right? And stay perfectly in the middle. Satan, though, could wander around like a ninja or something himself. Sneaking up, trying to beguile Eve and Adam. Now, when Eve responded to the serpent, he didn't do it right away either. See, this is day 6. Most of this happens. Then it's day 7, right? Well, this is a lot of activity for someone to do in a 24-hour Earth day as well. Like naming all the animals, perhaps two by two, right? Like with the ark, and that would take probably a while, a few days. I don't know. Right. But that's why they talk about a day being a year and things like that. It can be a year or 1,000 years as well. Maybe even 50 years. I don't know. I don't know. They talk about a lot of things in the Bible. But there's certain truths people feel. Meaning they know it might be saying something different than what they're thinking, but they don't want to go there, right? So they say, oh, I don't know what that means. Or sealed knowledge, you know. It's alien, it's alien. Well, God says, I'm not a strange God among you, but you're the strange God. You're the one acting like there's something missing in your life and you're not acknowledging what it is. What could be the true image of God is androgynous in nature, right? Or hermaphroditic, whatever you want to say, right? Or intersex, both sexes is one. That's what a true dyad is. Equally representation of both images, right? Neither male nor female, Jew nor Gentile, bond nor free. But also what? Male and female, Jew and Gentile, bond and free. In a way, yes. He was born of a Jewish woman, I guess. She was the surrogate who delivered him under controversy, where her husband was minded to put her away privately until the angel of the Lord spoke to her, which could even be someone in the village who acted as an agent of the Lord. Maybe his local rabbi. Right. Whoever the angel was, he told Joseph, hey, don't worry about it. Kind of like with Moses when he was brought to Pharaoh's daughter, right? And then, again, you know the story. Miriam went and fetched a Jewish woman to nurse the child for Pharaoh's daughter. Not that she couldn't have herself, by the way. Women can do that. Only hermaphrodites who have a penis can also do that, but there again, other than that, men can't do that. We don't have mammary glands over the male part of the reproductive act, where you're two now, right? From the true image of God, which is neither male nor female, because the spirit is what? Neither Jew nor Gentile, bond nor female. But it inhabits you all. Right. It's also not skin color related, because that can be changed over thousands of years anyway as well. From darker to lighter too, right? The whatever. Now, what that means though is you have a dominant gene and a recessive gene in the gene pool, and the dominant gene got darker and the recessive gene got what? Lighter. And that's just your body reacting to environment, which is called adaptation to that environment. And like in Africa, because it's a hot climate, you're going to get darker. Look at people in India, even in Australia. You can almost say an Aborigines and an African person looks just about the same, right? Right? Skin tone wise, right? Well, why is that? Australia is also a hot continent, right? But it don't mean we're not human beings. I know, because of your skin color. Why do I have to keep telling you that? We're not lesser or greater or better or worse, right? Unless we choose to be in our behavior, right? Now, what we have here is a battle of words. See, just because you say nice words to me, but you say it scornfully, don't mean I believe you. Like with Joy Behar and Trump. Right? For example. She sounds like a bitch to me, too. I don't blame Trump for not liking her. You know what I mean, Joy? But you ever heard a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down? You're not exactly being Miss Nice Girl there, are you? No, you already made up your mind. you don't even know he's not being sarcastic back with you in a different way. And but let's drag out this sarcastic response to each other and be jerks and look like assholes. Both of you. Both of you. Right. But I don't know what I'm talking about. I ain't been on the planet for 50 years or anything. That's all. That's all. Any man can be on the planet for. Now, maybe God will put things in your path you need to know, and maybe he can't, right? Because you wouldn't accept it anyway. Some people you can't do that with no matter what they see. Even if they see a true hermaphrodite, they'll deny it, right? But all it is the penis with a vagina with the testicles inside the body and the fallopian tubes still inside the body and maybe a womb. But they can still function like a normal male and female in the flesh. Now, if the God of all flesh is the God of all flesh, isn't he, of course, all flesh? Meaning he can become all three. At the figure form. If you're transforming, two people appear with you who can talk to you. It ain't Moses and Elijah. Nope. Wrong, Peter, James, and John. It's his male and female who appeared to Sodom and Gomorrah in Genesis. Right. And he stood yet before the Lord. With Abraham. One stayed behind, two with the Sodom and Gomorrah. Hello. Which two? Male and female. That's why it's kind of Enosh there. Right. It's kind of ambiguous. He's not quite sure what's going on himself when he read it. Moses. Nor are the disciples sure it's not Moses and Elijah because they are thinking Jewishly. Well, I say if the scripture Elijah's come first, right? Elijah comes first, right? What that means is what? Elias did go first. He was John the Baptist. Didn't Gabriel said in the spirit of Elijah shall he go? Or Elias? Right. In the Greek. Now, does that mean he's spiritually Elijah? Or did God reincarnate Elijah through John, right? Which means his spirit was placed in John's body, but his body was still in heaven, right? He didn't say that either. Did he? Gabriel or Jesus? So that would be technically reincarnation Jesus, right? If he's the spirit of Elijah in the body of John the Baptist, right? That's what that is. Ask a Buddhist monk or a Hinduist. That's reincarnation of the spirit of Elijah in the body of John the Baptist. And guess whose spirit Jesus was in? Moses's. Now what this means is he got what Moses was really saying to you, that you're now silly. Right. That you can't quite grasp. Because you're looking at it from a perspective that's becoming more male-ish as the image of God. Man is the image of God. Not woman. Just a man. That's your sin. Because neither is the male without the female, nor the female without the male. In the Lord are you at bringing forth sons and daughters. Right. Either. Now, like I said, the only way you can make a male is to make one of the eggs Y. Which means you remove the X and put in the Y chromosome. But it's still a female egg. So you're creating a new male. But he's just double Y. But still, the egg counts as O. So he's Y-O-Y. Yoy. You had yoy, you had fun, you had season in the sun. Yoy, boy. To yoy. Oh, well. No. Yeah, that's what you're doing, ain't it? You did that with Dolly, didn't you? Oh, hello, Dolly. Well, hello, Dolly. It's so nice to have you back where you belong. Yeah. You're looking swell, Dolly. I can tell, Dolly. You're still growing, you're still going on, man. I hear the band sway. Calls the band's playing. You might could say fans, I guess, right? I forgot the words, too. I hear the fans swaying, cause the band's playing some of those old favorite songs from Black Wing. Right. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. But the point is, right, we're losing ourselves by focusing on one image or the other and not realizing there's a third image as well, doctors. You don't operate on something that's both, because it's in the gene pool too somewhere. So if it's the soul that sinneth, it shall die, Jews too. Though there is generational curses of those that hate the Lord, right? But what does all that mean? What are you hating on, right? That he's male or that he's androgynous? Which would a male prefer to be the image of God? His own image or an androgynous image? His own image, right. Okay, do you get it? That's why I was so confused in the Navy too. My shipmates were trying to get me up the butt and I kept telling them no, right? I don't know if they wasn't trying to code red my butt, but I can't prove that. I'm not worried about it because somehow I made it back on the ship where I went to sleep at. So I'm not going to argue with them. They have to bring up all that if they did all that to me. I don't know. And why the hell would they, right? Just to get me off the ship because they want to fuck each other the butt. Excuse me, French. Because what makes it unlawful is the UCMJ. Right? Says you can't do that. Not me. And they think Moses meant that. And they think Paul meant that. So what can I tell you? It does say that. You're not supposed to do that kind of sex because that could be the knowledge of good and evil. Right? Satan did without even eating. But they don't tell you that part of the story, do they? No. Oh, we bit of a fruit tree and that made us think of the knowledge. No wonder people don't understand you Orthodox. That makes no sense. But tell them, oh, we had sex with Satan and Eden. I bet they'll understand. Yeah. Real quick. Even the Satanists will understand. Oh, right. I was missing that the whole time. Yeah. And it's a certain kind of sex. Anal sex is what's called. And he can do it with Eve and Adam too. And himself. And they can know good and evil. Oh, no. In both acts. That means they were swapping. Wife and husband swapping. That's called a what? Menage a trois. Okay, Satan is the first one to introduce you to a menage a trois or an orgy. Where there's more than the male and female involved. Another thing. Though I don't judge that, like I told you. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to help you understand what is the problem. Why do we die? I know. Well, what do you think Satan did after he had a child with Adam and was a hermaphrodite? It probably was very painful for him and Eve for the first time. And she had twins. She continued to bear Abel, his brother. Mm-hmm. Now, some numbskull acts like it was years later. No. Whoever wrote the book of Jubilees, he way off. It didn't say it like Esau and Jacob now, did it? Yes, it did. They were fraternal twins, too. Abel might have been more Neanderthalish, and Abel might have been more Cro-Magnon-like. Right. Get what I mean? One was the seed of the serpent, and one was the seed of Adam. Right. Get it? The serpent, is penis erectus. Which Eve saw and thought it was thick and long. Not that Adam would walk around with a heart on all the time, but Satan might. Get that too? Yeah. Sorry to talk adult to you children, but come on, grow up. If I'm hiding behind a tree and you see my erect penis and you're a female and I start talking to you, and you come around and see it's a man, it's a man. But it's a different kind of man. He has food to give to your children and a penis, right? So he can also get you pregnant and help you nurse your children. If you're Eve. That's how she saw it as good for food and she desired to be unwise. Hello. Because she also nursed her children. Alright. Now, we're talking 70 years after. Why 70 years? Every 25 years they could have mated, right? Here's why. Your children take about that long to grow and develop, right? Here now, even. Most maturity comes between 25 and 30 anyway. Right. And then your body starts growing, and for about 5 years you kind of stay in kind of a state of flux. But then you start declining after that 5 years. And you start getting older and start feeling like an old man. Yeah, I'm an old man. I'm getting older and older. I'm only 50 years old, though. Right. Well, you can say that. But you. Hello, my honey. Hello, my baby. Hello, my right-time cow. Whatever. Figaro. Like, but I thought I go off out the blood, boy. I can even change the voice around just a tiny bit. But that's the point, man. You gotta do voices where people can at least understand the accent, trying to pull off. Okay. Well, that's the point. What new voice can we come up with? What new song? What new record? That doesn't have the same chords or similar notes. See, that's why you're probably running out of material in what you're trying to do with songs, and it's hard to reword them, but you got to find a way, don't you? Your copyright law is a bitch. You're not even allowing for fair use of it, right? And trying to act like it can't be taught, really, and stuff like that, or I wouldn't be having the problems I'm having on YouTube, right? And I'm not supposed to if I'm teaching you how to do something, which that's the point of the law, right? From the beginning, it's so you can't use it illegally. I don't know. You can go too far with copyright law. If I can't even sing a song, you're going too far with it. If I can't teach the song because it's musical and it requires notes, and you to listen to the song to be able to impersonate the artist as well, which is called imitation or canon, not Nick Cannon, but canon type singing. Right? When you imitate the voice you're singing with, that's called canon singing. Right? It's like you do in a choir. Mm-hmm. Now, when you have someone to do a solo act, right, that's where they go out in the front and they do a different, more talk scene voice, like your normal stars or whatever, right, or your artists or whatever you want to call them by now. Mm-hmm. Well, again, that's the whole point. Think about it. Mm-hmm.